Doing a little loading thing. Should, we'll wait a minute or so to get get the chat in here. Oh, it's sick. Dude, I love this. I can see the comments directly in StreamYard. This is so nice.
Oh, fuck, nice.
And on the TL, if you see it pop up, you can throw a retweet on that because you want your audience to peek at it.
For sure, for sure.
How's your business been doing with the quarantine stuff? Probably not affected that much, I assume.
Yeah, business has been good. Business has been pretty solid. I feel like a lot of people are just on social media and just scrolling, right? So
yeah. A lot of I've noticed like a lot of the local businesses, they've gotten hit, but every online person I've talked to has been like, "This is my best. It's been my best month."
For sure, bro. It's insane, man. It's insane what's happening. Like, yeah, like I have a lot of friends that have like local businesses and they've been hit so bad. Then like all my online friends are the complete opposite, right? So it's like,
yeah, it's really and I do think there is value in local businesses, definitely. Like just having that on the ground community feel. You no matter what you do online, it just can't directly mimic that. But at the same time, like if you're trying to be anti-fragile, you gotta have an online component.
Yeah,
solid.
I kind of missed that. Like all the entrepreneurs that I grew up watching, like just locally, they always used to have like a local presence. So like a year ago, I like wanted to create a local office, right, just to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty cool, bro. Just like trying to create a little culture inside the office, right? But like I feel like you kind of need the best of both worlds, you know, because especially now, like it exposed a lot of people. So
yeah, you definitely need the best of both worlds right there because like with how business is now, with how global our economy is right now, like you got to be working with people on every single continent. And if you're trying to get everybody into one city at one place at one time to do business, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, even from a hiring perspective, like who said, like say you're from some random ass place, right? Like who says the fucking talent is there? The talent could be like overseas or in the States. Like I'm in Canada personally, right? So like even like if I was to hire local copywriters, like I'm sure there's not that many people here locally that are like well versed in direct response copywriting, right?
Right.
So you need that remote aspect, and I'm sure that applies to a lot of different jobs and a lot of different fields.
Definitely, yeah. You're trying to compete with people in your own market, but then also in the global market too. So it's going to be interesting. I bet that's going to be a whole this thing is the whole online business thing is so new that it's just going to be a whole new philosophy when it comes to how you position yourself.
For sure.
All right, guys, this is Arthaus. We are here with Tej Dosa. Is that how you say your name?
Yep, you got it, bro.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we're here with Tej. He is a master copywriter, just online business hooligan he's a really interesting guy. And he has a lot of insights on things that you don't normally associate with business, but are very, very important to making sure that your entrepreneurship ventures are successful. So Tej, can you give a little background on like who you are, what you do, and like how you got to this point?
Sure, bro. So just a quick and dirty. I got into online business like when I was like 14. Had like typical immigrant parents that always stress like just work, right? So at 14, my parents like told me to go pick blueberries at a local farm because that's where my grandparents used to go, right? So I did that for one summer. It was like 14 hours in the sun. And then the next summer came around and I was just dreading summer coming because I'm like, yo, fuck the farm. I don't want to go there again, right? Yeah. Like 14, 15, you don't really have that many skills. So like it's either that or McDonald's, which I also flipped burgers for 3 days, but then I got the fuck up out of there pretty quick too.
Yeah.
So around that time, like I was heavy into self-help and I started discovering this thing called Make Money Online. And then the first thing I discovered was the site called NeoBucks, where you basically just click on ads and you watch them for like 30 seconds and you get paid like 20 cents. And I was like above the moon with joy because I'm like, yo, if I make 20 cents here, I'll make 20 cents tomorrow. In like a week, I can afford a slice of pizza. The store down the street used to sell pizza for like $2, right? So I was like, yo, that's dope. And then I told my mom that day, I'm like, yo, it's a wrap. I'm making money online. I ain't going to the farm no more, right? And then she's like, nah, man, you're going back to the farm, right? You ain't gonna fucking last at $2 a week, right? But that set the mindset, like, yo, this is possible. And then like all throughout the next school year, I was just trying to figure it out. And then I was like super shy. I was super introverted. So like one reason I think I was drawn to online business was because I didn't have to do like face-to-face sales, right? Because I knew business is my thing, and I knew that I didn't want to work for somebody from an early age, but I was still so fucked up mentally and so like full of internal holes that I was like, yo, let's just hide behind the screen. Then I discovered something. Before I discovered marketing, I would just try a bunch of different businesses. Like I tried so many, bro, and I just kept failing, right? And I realized the reason I was failing was because I sucked at marketing. Like, you know, these guys that are product guys, they're like, yo, I just want to work on the fucking product. Like, fuck this sales shit, fuck this marketing shit. That's how I was, bro. And then I just kept failing, but I was in school, right? So I was in high school. It didn't really matter that I was failing because nobody really expected anything out of me, right? So it's whatever. Like nobody even knew what I was doing.
Those are for everyone watching. High school is the best time to fail because there's you got the safety net of you're living at home. You know, you're still in school, so you still got something going on in case it doesn't work, and then you can just go all out.
For sure, bro. Like I didn't even know what my parents thought I was doing. They're probably thinking like I'm just watching porn 24/7. Dude, like I used to sneak out of my room. Like my parents are pretty strict, right? So it's like curfew. Like, yo, I gotta be in bed by 10:30. I would sneak out of my room. Like so many times, my dad would catch me in the computer with the lights off, just on the computer at like midnight. Like I don't know what the fuck he thought I was doing, man. Like I just shut the browser too, and like I made it extra suspicious, bro.
Dad, it's a Shopify store. Leave me alone.
Yeah, bro. I was like on Swagbucks back in the day, man. I had like all my friends on that shit, right? So anyways, I just kept failing. Yeah. Then I realized like, yo, like the reason I keep fucking failing is because I suck at marketing. Like one day I was just watching late night infomercial. I saw I don't even know what the product was, but I just was drawn to the way they were marketing it. Right. So instead of going to sleep that day and just saying, yo, fuck this, yo, that was cool for a minute, I decided to investigate further. And I discovered that this was something called direct response marketing. Right. Because prior to this, the only marketing that I knew was like branding. Right. Like, yo, like I don't like, bro, my knowledge of marketing was like marketing. You choose the colors you want, you choose the feeling you want to elicit, and that's marketing. Right. Yeah. That was the only type of marketing I saw. But then I discovered direct response and I'm like, holy fuck, this is dope. And then I just went down the rabbit hole, started reading Gary Halbert, started reading a bunch of books. And then I started applying those tactics to my own businesses, and I started seeing results for the first time, right? And I was like, holy shit, this actually works. And then from there, I just kept doing my thing, kept building out those businesses. And then that's when I started actually succeeding. And then from there, like a bunch of people in the industry, friends or just other people, they started reaching out. They're like, yo, like, I like what you're doing. Can you help me with my business? And that kind of transitioned into an agency, right? And then I started doing that for a while. I kind of started off as a freelancer, which was a shit show in itself, but eventually transitioned that over and then just started working with a bunch of different clients, partnering up with them, and just like handling the marketing and just getting better at all other areas of business as well. And like also doing my own things as well, just launching my own stuff too. But yeah, bro, that's like the quick and dirty, right? Yeah. So it was wild, man.
It seems like you were oriented towards a vision, right? You had the vision, I want to make money online and be financially free. Yeah. But the steps you took there, it was not like, okay, I'm going to do this, then this, then this. It was more like, oh, this opportunity showed up, I'm going to jump on it. Yeah. I don't care what it is, but I'm going to jump on it.
100%. And it's so funny you say that because I just realized that like just recently, like when I analyzed all the businesses that worked, it was the ones where I didn't try to force shit, right? Like so many times I would try to create a business and I was like, yo, like I want to create this. This is what it's going to be. This is how it's going to work. This is what's going to happen, right? And then those businesses never worked. But the ones that I initially resisted, right? The ones that I initially thought like, yo, that business is not that cool, right? Like I'm not going to get that much clout out of that business. That one's kind of lame. Like, fuck, I don't want to start that. And then when I eventually started those businesses, those are the ones that actually succeeded the most.
Right. It that ties into a more broad sort of esoteric internal concept of like, the push pull of reality. How sometimes if you just kind of just you have your vision, but you don't try to force things to happen.
Right.
Especially if they're not working. Like a lot of people, there's a huge like thing where you just got to keep grinding, got to keep grinding, got to keep grinding. But if something is not working, one of the best things you can do, in my experience, is just relax and just let the thing happen. And then just wait for the first, glimmer of anything, and then you jump on that. But not trying to just mine and mine and mine just through all the dirt instead of just taking a break every once in a while and just letting them come to you. That's what a lot of people miss.
Bro, I think you nailed it. I'm like, that's what took me like 10 years. What you just said took me like 10 years to arrive at that point.
And like I've learned more and more, especially from your tweets, from talking to people like that, and just from doing like reading. That a lot of like there's a huge connection between business and like the internal growth of your actual psyche, of your mind, of your body, all that stuff.
Yeah, man. I feel like I don't know how deep you want to go, but we can just go fucking deep.
Yeah, let's go deep.
I feel like the entire universe is inside you, so there's really no difference between business and internal work, or external work, or picking up girls, or building a business, or getting jacked in the gym, right? Yeah. Everything's inside you, so that's your world. And what I mean by that is whatever is inside you is what's going to manifest outside of you, right? Exactly. So like when I was like struggling and none of those businesses weren't working, it wasn't because the business model was bad. It wasn't because of externals, because the economy was in a shithole. It was because I was a piece of shit. I had internal problems. I was manifesting those internal problems externally, right? I don't really see any difference between internal work and external work, because you do external work through internal means. It's you that's doing it, right? So like whatever you have inside is what's going to happen outside.
Right. And there's that maxim too, that like you said, everything is inside of you already. It's just on you to kind of release it into the world. And the external world is like the proving ground. It's the mechanism for releasing that internal stuff out in the world. You already have it in you. It's already like all the potential's in there, whatever you want to call it. You just need to go physically do things to bring out those parts of your psyche and bring out those parts of your mind, body, and soul.
Yeah, bro, that's so true. I feel like life is the process of breaking that wall you have internally, right? I used to think life was like an external game, but then I like kind of rethought about it and just experienced a bunch of shit. And now I feel like life is an internal game where you break that wall that you have that separates you from that internal energy you have, that internal power. And once you break that fucking wall, then anything you want externally is done like that. I know it sounds like bullshit. You read all these books, like all these metaphysics books, all this law of attraction shit, and I think they really dumb it down, right? But I feel like that quote right there, everything you want is already inside you. You are already it, right? Like if you just understand that and you apply that and you work towards that, then you can have anything you want, and you can do it a lot easier. That's what I experienced too.
And even on the most like basic level, like even if you're not anywhere, related to the law of attraction, you want nothing to do with any of the spiritual stuff, like just the simple concept of like, you can't choose to better yourself unless you actually love yourself and like yourself and like see it something of value, see yourself as a friend, not just like a thing that you hate and you have to suffer with.
Yeah, for sure. Because like even say you like, I will give you a real example. Like I was in that mindset, right? Like I don't think like I was where I needed to be like mentally, but I was succeeding externally, right? You write this piece of copy, it makes X amount of money, you're winning. But I wasn't winning on the inside. I still had that fucking hole inside me, right? Like I remember one time I was telling my buddy like a few days ago, I was like, because like one of my buddies, he's like, they really want to make money, right? So I was like, yo, like one time I made the most money I ever made in a day. Then I went outside on the balcony and I was like, shit, ain't nothing changed inside, because I still had that hole. But once I filled that hole, then when you make money, then you can actually make the money and enjoy the money.
We've been talking a lot about filling the hole and there's that void and whatnot. What are some things that you've done specifically to kind of fill that and give your life a sense of satisfaction that just like purely playing an external game doesn't give you?
Yeah, that's a good question. When I first started, I got into, it's funny because I should say, like, I never had any interest of doing any of this internal work. Like, it wasn't like from the jump, I was like, yo, I'm gonna do all this internal work. Like, bro, if you had seen my goals list from like 14, 15, it was like Forbes 30 under 30, make fucking hundreds of millions of dollars, fucking do this, fucking do that. And I still got those goals. It's cool, right?
Yeah.
Fine. But like, I just want to say that, like, I ain't this type that I'm just like meditating my life away at 14, 15, like just trying to do all this internal work. It just happened. And the way it happened was, I realized in order to become a better entrepreneur, I had to become a better me. And then I would just like copy habits of like people that were making a lot of money. And like one of the habits that a lot of people would do that were making a lot of money was quiet the monkey mind, which is basically like meditation, right? And tap into something deeper inside them. And then I was like, fuck, if it worked for them, like who the fuck am I to argue against that, right? I'll just do it too. So I started off with meditation. And it's funny because when I first discovered meditation, I was like, yo, you want me to close my eyes for 20 minutes? I got this endless fucking to-do list and you want to set me back 20 minutes, right? I didn't get it for the longest time. And then I started doing it. And then like I started tapping into that witness inside me, like that observer awareness, whatever you want to call it. And then I started doing that. And then meditation just sets you on a bunch of interesting experiences where you learn a lot about yourself and just reality. Started reading a bunch of books, right? Started reading a bunch of books, started doing a bunch of experimentation, and just kept digging and digging and digging. But what I think the real answer is to fill up that hole is to realize that there is no hole in the grand scheme of things, right? The hole is imagined. The whole is imagined just like your identity is imagined. Like you are a concept. You're the story you keep telling yourself, right? So like in order to get rid of the hole, you just got to get rid of that wall that is separating you from that internal energy that you actually are.
And I think a lot of that comes from, I think one of the physical mechanisms, like you said, is the meditation, because not only you're clearing your mind, but you're getting into the present. And I think that a lot of people are really either past focused or they're worrying about the future, and they're not just in the present thinking, okay, what do I need to be doing right now? And then once you get in the present and you get in that flow state and you make it a habit to, okay, this is where I want to live my life, not worrying, not, feeling resentful about the past, but this is where I want to live my life right now. That's when all the success comes.
And it sounds like bullshit, right? It sounds like,
like a lot of people listening to this right now might be like, what?
Yeah, bro.
It's just one of those things you have to just have faith in, and you have to kind of just do, and then you'll understand.
Yo, if I was listening to this like 10 years ago, I would have stopped listening by now. I'd be like, yeah, you guys are on one, man. Somebody's on fucking mushrooms right now. They're trying to feed me some bullshit.
Yeah, like, I want to talk about money and entrepreneurship. What is this spiritual stuff? It has nothing to do with it.
Bro, so let's talk about money. So let's talk about how you can use this to make a lot of money.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's probably what people want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. So tell us, Tej, how do you?
I don't know.
How do you use this to make loads of cash and get your goals smashed?
All right, this is the process, boys. Okay, first of all, I don't know. I'm just fucking talking, right? I don't really know anything. Right? Let's start there.
Yeah.
So this is how I think it works. This is how it works for me when it came to making a lot of money, right? I think step number one is to cultivate awareness, right? You got to start there, because if you're not aware, then, because right now there's opportunity around you, but you're not even aware. You can't even see it. You're so what you said, bro. You're so stuck in the past. You're so stuck in the future. But opportunity is only in the now. Shout out Eckhart Tolle, right? It's only in the now. Right?
I made a tweet about this. I'm gonna let you finish, but I made a tweet about this a few days ago. Where there's three states of mind. There's the producer, there's the consumer, and then there's the observer. And I think the observer is very key, because if you're constantly making stuff, yeah, you can be in that flow state, but you're not taking in new things. If you're consuming, you're taking in new things, but you're not channeling it into something else. If you're observing, you're just total awareness, and you're looking, okay, what do I want to be doing? Where's everything oriented in this world? That's where the best ideas come from.
100%. That was a fire tweet. That was a really good tweet. I like that. So yeah, I think it starts there. It starts with awareness, right? A lot of people don't even have that, which is fine. I didn't have it for a long time. I still don't have it, right? But so that's step one. And then step 2 is I don't really fuck with goals. I fuck with intentions, right? So goals, like I don't want to get too into it, but like to have a goal is to reaffirm your lack of the goal, right? Goals kind of keep you fucking miserable. Goals kind of keep you on the hamster wheel, right? Because you set this goal and then you have that internal hole driving you, right? And you're miserable for the entire period of time that it takes you to actualize that goal. And then once you get the goal, that hole gets filled for 10 seconds, a day, a week. And then after you're like, shit, what's the next goal? And then boom, I don't really feel like that's a good life.
It does seem like a low level consciousness sort of way of orienting yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And then, yeah, because like if you're spending majority of your life chasing goals, then majority of your life is going to be spent in lack. You're not going to feel the high states that you can actually feel. So I believe in intentions, right? So like what intentions are is like what you want, but it's already done, right? So there's no chasing. It's already done, right? So I believe in setting intentions. So going back to the money example, right? Like say you want to set the intention instead of saying like, yo, I want to make like $100,000 a month, right? It's like, I do this, bro. Like I used to do this all the time. Whenever I had a goal, I would write in my fucking notebook, like Tej Dosa, make $100,000 a month, like 15 times, 30 times. Right? The reason I would do that isn't because like I have some fetish of fucking writing that shit down fucking 15 times.
Style.
The reason I would do it was because it would reaffirm that reality, right? So when you set the intention, I feel like the important thing to do is to live the dream as if it's already real, right? So I wouldn't just do that and then I wouldn't just fuck off and like fucking just jerk off to porn the rest of the day. I would just like, I would actually work, but I would work from that mindset that it's already done, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's a tired phrasing, but the millionaire mindset, right? You want to act in your daily life like you're a millionaire. So you want to have the work habits like a millionaire. You want to have the sleep habits. You want to have the social habits, right?
Yeah, that's so true. And like, I feel like I always tell people that, but they're always like, yo, give me the fucking tactics, bro. Give me the tactics.
That's where you're gonna go wrong every time.
Yeah, because that's all bullshit. I mean, it's cool, but it's like bullshit in the grand scheme.
Like for people like you and I, we're kind of like interested in the spiritual, kind of the meta aspect of reality and whatnot. Tactics just don't work. I've just noticed that we have to approach things individualized. We can't copy something directly and then go out and try it. And even if it's successful, there'll still be like a 1% of us that's like, that was us. That was a tactic.
Yeah, and like that, like reaffirms like imposter syndrome, right? You feel like you succeeded because you applied like this tactic, right? So you're still like, you got the money, but you still feel like how you felt, right? But so that's second point, which is like set the intention and live in the dream. And then the third point is actually what I think is the most important, but a lot of people don't do because of fear. The third point is to get out of your way, right? So what I mean by that is now, number one, you're aware, right? You can actually see opportunity. You can actually live in the present. Number two, you know what you want and you've set that intention and you're living in that feeling now, right? It's already done, but like what I think happens is life is now going to reconfigure itself to match your intention, right? But you have to have the balls to say yes to life, right? So you got to get out of your way. Like so many times, like I had business ideas where I knew what I wanted. I would set the intention. And then when life presented me an opportunity, I would let fear or resistance get in the way of saying yes to life, right? So this number three, I think is the most important because you gotta take your personal self and get it out of the way so you can let that real shit flow through you. And once you do that, once you get out of the way and you say yes to life, then what I've happened from my personal experience is things come full circle and you achieve that intention. It's not like you're just aware 1 second and then you set the intention and then you get out of the way. It's a continuous circle, right? But like even like a lot of people online that want to make money, I'll go back to that example. Why don't they make it? There's people that have been on money Twitter for fucking 2 years. They still haven't made $1,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever it is. Why haven't they made it? They know what to do. They know other people are doing it, but they keep getting in their own way. They keep giving into resistance. They keep giving into fears. They keep giving into all that low level stuff, right? So the third step is the most important step. Like I try to chase the resistance, right? So like what I said earlier, the businesses that worked the most for me were the ones that I initially resisted because they were uncomfortable. They were not as sexy. They were whatever. But when you pursue the resistance, you win. So cultivate awareness, set your intentions, live in it as if it's already real, and then let life reconfigure itself and have the balls to say yes when life presents you opportunities, right? Don't shy away. Now's the time to get on that game court and play the game. That's what life is. But so many people will be aware, they'll set the attention, then when life gives them the opportunity, they're like, fuck man, what will my girlfriend think? What will my mom think? What will this happen? What happens if I fail?
Shut it all out. Gotta shut it all out.
Yeah, that's all internal. And then life is like, oh shit, bro, I gave you the opportunity, but you just pussied out. Let me give it to somebody else now.
Boom, right there. Tej, this was an amazing talk. I hope the people learned a lot. Do you have anything you have to say before you have to head out?
No, bro. I was just talking, man. I didn't have anything planned, so this was just a free flow. I didn't even know what the fuck happened.
Beautiful. You said some beautiful things and a lot of nuggets in this one for people to parse over for the years ahead. This has been Arthaus with Tej Dosa, and we'll see you all next time on the next episode of Arthaus, whenever that is. We're moving to Podia very soon and rejigging the whole stream and whole podcast and whatnot. So it's gonna be a lot better for you guys. Talk to you guys later.
Peace, boys.